All right, prologue time.
Yeah, and
Let's
just
see.
kind of looking at the map here, it looks like you guys have come from your first encounter with the Lizard Lounge kobolds and moved up into the whipping post room, or the
Whipping
kobold,
post.
yeah, or the kobold courtroom, as Alex called it. Fought some more kobolds there. That's pretty much where we left off. I think we just had two fights.
My brothers would be proud.
And
Mhm.
so I gave the prologue the first time. Who gave it last time? Was that Mom or was that you,
Me.
Lee?
Yeah, it's
Nobody.
Lee's turn.
Yeah, it's Lee's turn.
Jesus, man.
I know. Like, I'm too tired to even think about it right now.
I-
You're probably the same way.
yeah, I mean, it was crazy combat with the kobolds, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
pretty much
explored.
decided to, where do we start?
We
Well, we
started back
started in the
here in the
Kobold
tunnels, I
Casino.
believe. Yeah, we
No, we
started.
were at the trap, dude. Remember, right at the start of the Kobold Casino. I could tell y'all what happened if you want. And then when it first started, like, remember Pingsley, you went over and knocked over that thing
Oh
that went.
yeah, Pingsley. We kicked out. Pingsley was sneaking around and doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you were kicking ass on the kobolds, and then I went and I saved the little girl, and I found the dead body in the corner with the chainmail.
Oh, you got the chain.
Yep. And then we went towards the screams kind of stopped, I guess, but we went down that corridor, and there were women kobolds, right? And then one was strapped to a freaking table in the middle of the room, and another.
There was a guy right with his foot chopped off.
Yep.
Yeah, that was in the kobold courtroom.
When I move the screen, do you guys see that? Like if I move stuff around?
No, only. Well, yeah, we see stuff when you move it around. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I tried to put on the screen where you can see the kobold courtroom and the natural ladder descending.
Uh. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the kobold courtroom. We started in the tunnels. We went into the lizard lounge, cleared that place out, found the kid. We went on up because we heard screaming through the passage, and we found this weird ritual site where they were doing something with a strapped down kobold and a human dude who got his foot cut off.
I think he was
And
he's still alive though, I think.
yeah,
That's where
he's
we
still
are.
alive. We killed off all the kobolds in there, and that is where we left off. So we are in the we're in the kobold courtroom.
Now, I think there's a throne in this room too, if I'm not mistaken, and they were kind of.
Yeah, what's that throne made of? Is it made out of gold and gems?
No, it's just sort of an ornate-looking high-backed chair, really, sitting
Oh,
roughly in the center
would it fetch a
of the
fine
chamber.
price?
No,
Have you searched the
not
bodies?
really. Nope, not really.
The cobalt bodies.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish the start of the session here. Let's look at our goals for a moment. Everybody will take a look at their goal, and let's set a goal for the session here. Also, you may change your beliefs or instincts if you wish. So Violet's goal, I think she must
I
be
took
thinking
it
about.
out. Yeah, I took it out because my previous goal was to save the little girl and from the evil kobolds, and I did
Yeah,
that. So
I
I
mean,
need to
really,
get a new goal.
maybe we should just kind of discuss, even before you guys kind of search this room or meet the one-legged man, just kind of decide what your general intent is going to be for the session tonight and make a goal accordingly.
I think that our goal should be to get out of the House of Three Squires. Ultimately.
Yeah, we were discussing this earlier, Lee, like maybe going back upstairs to the bar area in the kitchen and maybe cooking up some grub and getting rid of our. I mean, I guess my hungry and thirsty's gone. Is yours gone? Or are you guys hungry and thirsty? I'm just
Um,
exhausted.
I'm exhausted and injured.
As is Breck. Breck is exhausted and injured.
Well,
by when it's
I have
exhausted.
healing capabilities. Maybe we could go up there where it's safer.
Camp and spend some checks,
Camp?
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
You
So
know
I
what
think maybe the goal should be to rescue this guy and go camp upstairs. Right.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Was that what our goal would be, Sean, or would it be like kind of looking beyond the camp?
That's true.
I mean,
Good thought.
you could have a goal to, to camp. I guess it's kind of boring, but yeah.
Let
We
me
could
ask
all
you guys
complete
this: Are
that
we gonna after we camp and after we heal and stuff? Are we gonna continue through the dungeon?
years.
Is that correct?
Well, okay. We
I
have
think
to.
so, right?
I feel like we have to find the kid's father. I feel like that's something that we have to do. That's our obligation as good people with hearts and all that stuff. But if it were up to me, we'd just leave and head back to the town. But yes, I think we are almost done here. We just need to find the kid's dad. Assuming this isn't his dad, um, we need to save.
I mean,
If
can't
this
I
isn't,
ask her before we leave the room? Is that your father on the floor without a foot?
hey kid,
Are we,
this your dad?
Is that your dad? I mean, I could ask her. She's right there in the entryway, I think, with the
Well, we
dog.
have to decide our goals before we can start any of that. So
I
if
think it
you
would
want,
be. I think it would be like regroup. Camp, heal, eat, and
and
then
then
continue to investigate the right.
yeah, yeah. I
And if
do
hey, if
want
I
to
can't
get.
heal your if I can't heal your injuries, we should go. We may have to go back to town, and you might
I
have to get
do.
in the inn.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
even if I'm remaining injured, I think we should still probably save the people's lives. I mean, we don't know how many people are down here that are injured like this guy. Hopefully, this is her father, and we can just find the innkeeper and bolt. But if it's not her father or the innkeeper, then we gotta find both those people, or else they're gonna die. And that's not
What
Oh,
people are you talking about?
Pingsley grew a heart.
barely. Listen,
What
the
people?
okay, so the little kid said that the innkeeper is gonna cook her dad.
No, she
Yes.
didn't. Did she say that?
Specifically, she told you guys that Ronwald, the innkeeper, is preparing to roast her father for the kobolds.
What the heck? And he's a human?
Yeah, they're forcing, presumably, unless this guy is a kobold spy, which is the worst possible
All right,
occupation you
here,
could have.
this may help you guys. Okay, so let's just say, okay, yes, there is a man bleeding out on the floor over there. His foot has been, uh,
Severed.
well, it looks like it's actually been eaten off.
Oh my
Um, uh,
god.
the closer look at it, it looks like it's been kind of bandaged up. There's all these bloody bandages on there, and he's in a lot of pain. He's uh, almost incoherent, at this point. But he looks like, he's in bad shape. He's bleeding badly. He will definitely need some kind of attention as far as his injury goes. Um,
Unless
but
he's
you,
the innkeeper.
but you do get his name, and you find out almost right away that, in fact, this guy Jorg is his name. It is Elsa's father. It's the little girl's father, and she's like, "Daddy, Daddy," and
My
and
lord.
uh and he's really really messed up. But you do get out of him that there are more prisoners that these kobolds have, and the plan is, these kobolds are forcing the innkeeper, Ronwald is his name. They're forcing Ronwald to prepare and cook the remaining prisoners for these kobolds. So you find out that there are more prisoners down here.
Okay.
Where does he know where they're keeping him?
He's not sure. He says there's a chamber with all these cages somewhere nearby, and that's where they're keeping all of these people in these cages.
Okay, my goal is to
And he and
free
he
the
he actually heard,
prisoners.
yeah, he heard say of there's some kitchen or something. Uh, Ronwald said something about a kitchen down here somewhere where they're going to cook these people.
Could that have been the spice? No, that wouldn't have been the spicy salad.
You heal? Can you heal on the? Okay, so how long does it take to camp? I guess my my concern is
Well,
like time frame, right? Like so, to cook these people.
Yeah.
That's
Normally camping would be like a night, or 8 hours probably minimum.
So you figure they're probably going to only eat one person a night, right? Is that a
Yeah.
reasonable guess?
That's a
I mean,
reasonable guess.
Brett's just
You
thinking.
tell me. Yeah, I don't know.
How many kobolds? Okay, if there's like 10 more kobolds, and you figure a human, they each get a plate of human. So that
Oh my god.
I'm just trying to be
Original
practical.
thought.
I'm just trying to be practical. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
like, we can't. How many
Specifically,
people could be killed? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to.
Well,
Lee, I'll put it
we
to
have
you. I'll
we
put it
have
to you this
determined
way,
that
though.
Breck. We have
Acco-
determined that Breck is a hunter, and he does know a little bit about kobolds.
Yeah,
So Breck's assumption is probably correct. We were mad.
Well, it's
right.
either let one of them die or we all die,
Well,
or
okay, but
something.
the thing
He's
is,
like,
that's
they can only
not
eat so many people in 8 hours.
right.
Exactly. That's
the
my
idea.
that's my point. So we may. So I think it might be the wise thing to do. We're just going to have to break an egg.
Well,
You know?
the thing is though, Dad's not exactly correct in that it's one night. It can be anywhere from an hour to a few hours to a full night, depending on what we do. If we
That's
want
true.
to, if we want to get rid of exhausted, that's assuming that we're resting. If we want to get rid of injured, that means we're procuring and using bandages,
Yeah.
which wouldn't take terribly long. So, I mean, the passage of
Listen,
time
we're not going to get
itself.
too granular about that, Alex. We're going to say 6 to 8 hours, minimum. I would
Well,
say.
if we only spend a few checks to bandage ourselves up, that would only take an hour or so.
How long does it take to heal somebody?
6 to 8 hours isn't unreasonable, and I think again, that's only one human eaten.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're right. It may depend on what you're doing too.
Well, how long would it take us to get from here back up to the stairwell up to the kitchen? I mean, that's another thing. Do we need to sit down here and just camp?
Well, here's a really cool thing. I don't know if anybody has cartography, but if you go to camp, you spend a check to make a map of areas that you've explored thus far. With
Someone
that
has-
map, I'm not sure if anybody does, but what's cool if you do that, if you make a map in camp, it allows you, if you have a map of the area and you're on the map, it allows you to travel from one area to another without using time or tests.
Whoa.
So you can just skip right past rooms and shit with a map, which is pretty
Free-
cool.
Breck does not have cartography.
Neither do
Yeah,
I.
I didn't think so.
But we can use
Mage has
chips.
Can he appear all evil and be like, "Oh, I can draw you a map"?
Right. And
I just
Kyle's
need that-
character that he rolled up has it too.
I hear that you need a map.
Yeah,
Are you
to do that, you'd
interested
have-
in trading your soul?
I was
Yeah,
thinking
to
of
do that-
silver, but soul would be good too.
yeah, to do that, you'd have to fall back on beginner's luck and make a will test with half your dice for a cartography check.
So what do you guys think? Did you
We
get
need
your
to do
goals in there? I just put free the prisoners from the cages. What about you guys?
My goal is
could be the
I will
same.
leave the House of Three Squires with my life.
Okay.
Mine is save as many innocent humans and bring punishment to those responsible.
Okay.
Excellent.
I like that.
Now,
Sounds
also, the other thing that we should look towards changing would be our instincts. Instincts are very useful mechanically, especially during something like the camping phase, because we can use an instinct to do something without a check. For example, I changed my instinct to I always cook a meal for my friends when I can. So during camp, I will, instead of having to spend a check to make that meal and heal everybody if they're hungry and thirsty, I can
Yeah.
just instantly come up with some food with a cook skill.
Yeah, it's kind of gaming the system, but it's okay.
Hey, look, man,
It's
this is a
allowed.
gaming the system
allowed.
kind of game.
It is. It's very
Another
gaming.
one that I saw in the rule book that was really cool was something like I always hunt for food at when we camp. So that means that
I mean, but you have to think of it too. Violet has 3 checks.
yes.
Breck has none. Pingsley has 2 checks, and you can share checks, guys. So you guys have 5 checks among yourselves. So that's 5 things that you can do in camp, whether it be 5 recovery tests, Violet trying to use her healer skill, making that cartography test, making that hunting test to find food, whatever.
Well, here we
I
go.
don't have five. Okay.
Speaking
Wait a
of
minute, you're
gaming
talking about
the
the check
system,
next to my
Traits.
traits? Yeah.
Used
Speak-
against.
Okay,
This
yeah, I got it.
represents your checks. Yeah.
speaking of gaming the system, you know what we could do is we could actually go to two places in the grind, get hungry and thirsty, so we can do two more things down here in the dungeon, and then we can get hungry and thirsty, and then we can go back and camp, so that way we get that free meal. I get to play off of my instinct, and we did two extra things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
Yeah, but remember, both Breck and Pingsley are injured. If
That's
something
true.
bad happens, it could be
Instant death.
Okay, yeah, let's retreat.
Man,
Okay.
we could at least like explore this room.
Yeah, for sure. We can search the room
Yeah.
and search the corpses.
yeah, famous last words. We could at least search the room.
Okay, so listen, we're kind of got a little dilemma here though now, too, because that's the little girl's father.
We bring them
I'm
all.
gonna-
We bring him and the girl with us, and bring them up to the top. Bring them to the top with us, right?
Yeah, I can feed
Yeah.
them too.
Yep. I think we
Well,
could
Violet,
do that.
as an experienced healer, Violet, you do realize that old Jeorge, Elsa's father, he doesn't have much longer to live if he's not treated.
Okay. Well, I will try to heal him. I think.
Well, we can do that during the camp phase. We should.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to get
Can
up there. He probably can't get up, right?
Yeah, you
I mean,
we
we're
can.
just
gonna
do some
carry-
basically, not heal, but do like a first aid kind of thing, Sean, or is that not?
If you're almost dead, you can't walk, dude. Can you?
Yes, I mean you can do. Violet could do a healer test. It's going to advance the grind though. At this point, we are still in the adventure phase.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because my belief is protecting those who would protect me, or those who cannot protect themselves is how I roll.
But that's not your instinct. If you made it your instinct, I always heal those who are injured or something like that, then you would
No,
be
I'm
able
not
to
gonna change
do
that.
that for free.
Yeah.
That would be totally gaming the system right now.
That's
Right.
fine. We're supposed to do that. That's called good adventuring.
No,
Alright,
but I don't
here's-
want to change my instinct. But
Okay.
dude, I'll advance the grind.
Here's old Jeorge.
I guess.
He's afraid, injured, and angry.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. Pingsley steps atop a table. Well, I'm sorry. He hobbles atop a table. And he looks at everyone. And he says, "Here's what I think. I think that we need to find some bandages or some scraps to make some bandages to wrap around both my broken leg to make a cool hobble-de-doo for his broken leg and to help heal up our dear old friend Breck as he's bleeding right now. Also,
Yes, and so I would go over to the dead female kobold with her beautiful linens and start ripping them off to make that happen.
we should loot the corpses." And then I step down from my pedestal.
Yeah, and I'm, I can help with that.
Okay, so it sounds like Violet wants to try to do some healing
Yep, I
on
can.
Jeorge. And
First
it
we're
sounds like
searching-
it also we want to search. So you want to search first?
Yes, we want to search the room for tools that we can use to assist ourselves in healing.
Well, I move forward and I thoroughly start searching this unexplored area.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, so that's going to
Hey.
advance the grind.
No, it's not,
one.
because that's Mom's
Boom.
instinct.
That's
Oh,
my
it is?
instinct. Yep.
Okay.
Let me do this.
It doesn't prevent your lantern from going out, though, after the end of this test here. Let's see. So
Now-
give me a scout test.
Just to be sure,
Yes.
neither Breck nor I can help without an instinct or what else?
Oh, that's right. When you use an instinct for an action, you can help with an instinct or a relevant wise. You may not help with a skill or ability.
Wise.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be scouting. I only have 2 dice for that right now, folks.
Since we're searching specifically for
I have criminal wise. That would right.
knowing where
Looking
things
and
are,
looting bodies, looting
Mhm.
looting bodies.
yeah,
and
knowing where
searching
people
for
hide
stuff.
cool stuff. I
Yeah, good at finding
have
like hidden spots. Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah,
have
you're gonna die from Breck then.
I have herb wise, which is the reason I took that is because herbs can be used as healing agents. Can I try and
It
help
could.
by finding herbs that would be able to be used to like make a tincture of
Yes,
like
but that would be more like helping Violet with her healing test when she
Yeah,
does
right
that.
now I'm scouting out.
okay, that's fine. Okay,
I
I
guess
was
I'm
just gonna
scouting
try and find
first.
wall mold,
So
kobold
I roll
dung
3
that
dice
would be
then? Do you have anything to help me,
useful.
Kingsley, with the scouting?
I can't help you with anything that's not a wise or a trait.
Okay. So I should just roll 3 dice, is
So
that
see,
correct?
even though you don't advance the grind, it is a little harder to help with those types of instincts.
Yeah.
3.
Yes. It's gonna be up to.
Oh. I don't know if I did good there.
Well, 6. Any 6s?
I got 1.
1, 6.
So you could burn. What is it? A fate?
Yes, let me burn something now.
Oh,
You burn-
you have
I have 2 persona.
yeah, you also have traits that you can use for or against yourself. Elven craft-wise isn't
Calm
gonna
doesn't
help.
work.
No, the only thing you could do is you could spend a fate point to reroll that 6.
Roll that. Yeah.
You can spend a fate with a relevant wise to reroll 1 failure, or you can use a persona with a relevant wise to reroll all failures.
Oh, you do need to use fate to level.
I know. So maybe I should just re-roll that 6.
I think so. Why not?
Yeah, because I don't see how your wise is
Well, why would I re-roll the 6? That's my only good one.
elven
all I
craft
can do
wise.
is
you-
get
Both wise
1
could
more
help
so-
you in
success.
scouting.
No, so you roll. So it's an exploding 6. So for every 6 that you rolled, you roll another die, and you add that
Yep.
to the successes.
Oh!
Sweet.
No way!
Wow.
You
Wow.
go.
Oh my
Does
god!
that
I didn't
explode?
think of
Does that explode too, Dad?
It does.
Roll another one.
You got the 2 successes you need, but technically just keep rolling.
Margin of success, man, that can have a difference.
Oh, I didn't get it that time, but I did get 2.
Okay,
Do I,
that's cool.
Did I
You
scout anything
succeeded.
out in the room, dude?
So check pass for scout, Angie.
Really?
Remember,
Okay.
it even says on your screen, reminder, mark pass or fail. And let's see, I think you guys have discovered some loot. Roll some loot.
Hey.
Oh. Never mind.
The elf has the eye for the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good scout here.
Let's see, looks like it's some gear.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see here. Looks like you guys found some equipment of some kind.
Found a trebuchet.
Sweet.
Let's see. Let me randomize this here. Find a flask of oil.
Okay. I think we need that.
We do need
You
that.
do. You can fill the lantern up immediately.
And you find some shoes.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
What kind of shoes? Hold
What
on.
kind? Yeah, what kind of shoes? Hold on. Can we?
They're
Can we
they're
stick
like
them on the
human.
little girl's
They're
feet?
like human, like ladies' shoes of some kind. Nothing real fancy or nothing.
Does the little girl have shoes?
Yes, she has some shoes on.
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting she's
and
a
one more thing.
survivor of a kobold raid, not an orphan.
And you find a few cloves of garlic.
Okay.
Garlic can be used to heal in this world.
I put that one of the garlics in my hand, I guess.
Let's
Okay.
Google
Yeah, just
garlic's
put it.
healing.
Give it a slot. It does
properties.
take up a slot. Bloody rags. There is sort of a shift looking. It looks like it's made out of leather. It's kind of crude. It looks like a whip that they were using to whip this kobold. That's other than that, just some, some of these female kobolds are kind of decked out in these feathers. Um, some
Hmm.
of them are brightly colored feathers. Some
I
of them
add
have
some of those feathers
bone
to my
piercings.
freaking feather collection on my that I have. I have the paraffin feathers hanging from my bow, so
Yes.
I'm gonna
Well,
add some of
many of them are
like a
covered in blood
trophy.
thanks to Breck, but yeah, some of them are salvageable.
Fine
Um,
trophy for me.
some of the female kobolds also have like some bone jewelry, also very crude, like bone piercings, things like that. Other than that, you really don't find much of anything of worth except for that equipment that you found.
Well, I am gonna add the least bloody feathers to my raiment.
Mm. And then your lantern begins to sputter
I'm holding
and
a
goes out.
lantern. I'm holding the lantern,
We use
guys.
the oil we just found to fill it up.
All right.
Sweet, we needed that.
How about that?
Lucky.
Yeah,
Cha-ching.
lucky break there.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
we
I'm a
do first aid on Stumpy, and then let's get the hell out of here for a little.
okay. Yep. So I have a healer, ability here of 3. So I need to
Mhm.
roll what 3 dice then?
Injury for a
Anybody
healer.
help? What are the helping traits?
Yes, that would be help for helping. Let me look at healer real quick here.
Traits. Oh, skills. Go to healing here.
Suggested help for healer. Also, any tools or supplies that might be helpful for healers. For instance, it says a healer can take supplies from alchemists, peasants, scavengers in the form of herbs and medicine.
Garlic.
So a healer can do. They can not only heal directly, they can exhausted, afraid, sick, injured, and angry with poultices. These are like medicines that you can make, right? And what that does is it allows the person who's making the recovery check for exhausted, afraid, sick, injured, or angry.
+1
It
die.
it gives them -1 ob, or yeah, it gives them +1 die. That's right. So, but to treat injured directly is an ob 3. To treat sick is ob 4. So we're looking at an ob 3 healer test to heal the man, or at least keep him from dying.
So I have a 3, so that means I have to get 3 successes. Is that correct?
So we're gonna have to augment. We're gonna have to augment that. Do you have any? You still have some fate and persona points left? Is that correct?
Yeah, I do. I can keep
Okay,
spending my fate if you wanted me to. What?
it's just an option. And what are the and what are the ones you said? Alchemist
And laborer.
have
Pingsley,
labor. but I don't-
Pingsley, I would say that Pingsley's herb wise could help directly.
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, I've got like a pouch full of stuff, and you know what? I could chop up one of those garlic cloves and make that into a fine paste. Who knows? According to healthline.com, under their evidence-based section, garlic can help and cure Alzheimer's. That's not applicable. Detoxify heavy metals in the body.
It's actually a natural antibiotic too.
Well, there you go. It's an antibiotic.
I have laborer. Remember, I built the stairs, and I had
That's
to
right.
add that to my sheet. So
Right.
So that's
But labor, actually, Lee, though, labor is still in beginner's luck phase for you. You haven't actually gotten laborer yet. You have tested your health, I think, when you test labor. So technically, it should say labor X for your rating number. Once you get a number of pass or fail tests with that, equal to your, I think, max nature, which is 4, you'll get a rating of 2 in laborer. So you still need to do some more beginner's luck tests using laborer, and you can't use beginner's luck for helping.
Right. Well, I'm gonna spend a persona so that I can Well, I mean, I could spend up to 3 persona points on a single roll. Each point adds 1d to the roll, it says.
How
Ooh.
many
So
more?
you could add one. So with Kingsley and that one, you'd have 5 dice to roll.
Yeah.
And that takes me up to 3 on my persona spent, which is what I needed, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And remember, you guys are
and
going
if
to be
you have to, you can burn a fate.
yes. And
Rolls.
remember, you might want to save some of those fate and persona for the camp phase when you're making your recovery tests and doing stuff there as well.
Yeah, I still have 2 fate and 3 persona.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. So I have then a total of how many did I get from that persona? I get 2 more.
If you spent 2 persona, you get 2 plus 2 dice. Yeah.
Well, I spent only 1.
Be 5 total.
Okay.
3 for
Got
your
it.
skill, 1 for Kingsley, and 1 for the persona.
Yep. It's a tough roll.
Did you roll any 6s? You can
Yep.
always roll a
2 6s.
Oh, well, you can roll your fate. You can use fate, or you can use your persona points. Either way.
All right. Well, I'm gonna spend a fate down to 1 there. Well, I'm spending a lot on this dude.
Yeah, it's totally worth burning.
Oh!
There you go.
Roll another
Again.
one.
Hey, it's totally worth burning it.
Yeah, you rolled a 6.
Roll another one. You get to roll again.
Angie, you can hover
Oh
over
my
those
God.
numbers.
Yes.
Does it
Wow.
count?
You know.
You're healing
Yeah.
like the heal. Oh yeah, heal away. Heal away.
By the way, Angie, you can hover over those numbers in your chat with your mouse to see what you rolled.
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
do
you
know
know
that. Yeah, I do.
Nicely done.
That is 4
Okay.
successes.
That's-
Holy cow.
That's a good example too of why it's totally worth to burn those points.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're also the way
Fate
you
and persona
level. So.
are especially good for like recovery tests because remember when you do a recovery test on your own, you don't get any help. There's no help. You're on your own to try to recover on your own. So those fate and persona can come in really handy for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you fix up Jeorge York pretty good.
Jeorge.
Yeah, it's York. Yeah, you fix him up well enough so his life does not seem to be in danger. You stop the bleeding. He does kind of pass out now though. He's not conscious.
What? I just freaking
he's
totally healed him, man. He was already like that.
you did, yeah, but he's lost a lot of blood.
I thought he was gonna stand up and start dancing. What the heck?
So he says Violet.
Dance, Stumpy, dance.
Yeah, Violet looks at Elsa's like, why isn't your daddy dancing now? I feel with my great elven powers. Elsa's like, is he gonna be okay?
Yeah,
He'll be all right now. It's just he's out of it. So what do we have to carry him up there, don't we, guys?
Right. So the grind
Oh,
ticked
boy.
there. If it goes again, everybody's gonna earn a condition.
Yes, we want hungry and thirsty.
We're gonna go. So we're gonna go up to the kitchen. Is that what we're doing, or we're gonna camp right here? What do you think?
We're gonna. So I think that we should build that sled now. So right, okay. So Lee, I was thinking about building a sled so that we can haul our loot later, but we could use it now to haul this unconscious dude.
That's true, but I mean, here's another way to look at it. If we don't move at all, can we camp here?
We could, but there are 2 open
Yes.
passages, which is a dangerous thing. Camping is determined by how close we may or may not be to monsters. So
Gotcha. Okay, understood. Okay, understood. So it makes sense. And no one's rolled the cartography, right? With the
no one's rolled for cartography, but we can do that in camp. The way you camp is we have all these checks. We're playing against our traits, or using our traits against ourselves. We pass those around one by one until we use them all. And so those are all basically tests that we can use to either recover from conditions
or
or
actions.
to do extra
Each
stuff.
check you can use to take an action and camp.
Well, here's another thought.
To move back to the top, or to the kit, to the bar area. Is that that'll just tick 1 on the grind? Is that correct?
Not even that necessarily. Depends
Yeah.
if
So
depends on if I'm an evil GM.
So let's
But
do that.
here's-
Yeah. Let's grab that guy and go up top.
Okay, just one other real quick question though. Like, if we do go back up there, is it possible we could run into more dangers like the
Any-
rats again, or you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
Anything's
Is that-
possible.
Yeah,
Any-
certainly
Anything's
possible.
we
Mhm.
drove
Anything's
off
possible,
the
but
rats.
we really don't
didn't
have a
kill them
choice.
yet. No, wait, we did
Choice.
kill the rats, so the tunnels are clear.
no, we
should be-
scared them off. We didn't kill them.
No, we went with a kill conflict, didn't we?
You
Nope.
did. You
Are you
killed
sure?
some rats.
But we
I
killed all
thought
the
we
rats in the
scared 'em off.
tunnels, right?
We should be okay. We should be okay. Let's grab this guy and we go back up to the
Okay.
top area manager.
Okay.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
Before we camp,
Okay.
though, we do have one more test. Yeah, I guess we should do that now. Yeah, let's do
All right.
that.
So I got the lantern in one hand. I would like to grab the rope for the dog, and then I tell the little girl to stick close, and we start heading down the corridor there.
I grumble about my bum leg.
Got everybody's tokens over here.
Which cellar? There's
I'll show you here in a sec.
Spicy cellar. Fine cellar. No.
the spicy cellars where we're heading to get up the makeshift ladder.
Right, so this is the cellar here.
Yeah.
You know, where you guys built the ladder up to the inn proper up there. The ladder is still intact. It's right where you left it. There is a sort of a, you guys do have to go through the smelly room, you know, and you look for rats and there's piles of junk in there. You don't see any presently. Breck, you do see rat sign though.
Oh, Terry. We move.
Yeah, there's probably more rats around here, down here in this area.
Well,
But you
before
get
we-
up to the, you get into the spicy cellar.
Before we camp, we do have a free test here. Why did Dad reset the grind?
I didn't. I just switched screens.
The grind is reset. Okay. We have one more. So we have one more test that we can make because we're gonna get hungry and thirsty for this last check, which is fine. I cure that for free.
Mhm.
And
So depending on what this test is that you have in mind, what happens if you fail that test?
if I fail the test, well, if I fail the test, then either a twist or a condition happens.
Right.
What just happened to our map?
Just updated it. Right. So my point is that okay, usually if you fail a test, I have a choice as the GM to either just impose a condition on you and anybody who helped you, or present a twist in the form of another problem. So what I'm suggesting is if you advancing the grind is always putting yourself at risk, because if there's a failed test, like Lee was saying, anything can happen. And if that anything perhaps might involve something dangerous to your physical well-being in any way, Breck and Pingsley are injured. So even though Alex, my point is, even though you may see gaining hungry and thirsty as beneficial, which I don't see why you think that would be beneficial.
Because it's a free test. We get a sled for our loot that we can't.
Okay,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, that illustrates my points, because there are no free tests. Every test has a consequence. Every roll on every test is meaningful. You know what I'm saying?
If I succeed, then we get something far more valuable than the hungry and thirsty condition, which we can get rid of.
Okay. Well, with that said, it is your choice. To construct something like a sled that you would haul stuff with, I mean, I think that's what you have in mind, right?
Yes.
Well, can I suggest something? Let's do this. We climb up. I climb up the ladder. I lower the rope down. We pull the Stumpy up. We all get up into the end.
Okay.
Before we do the test.
Yeah, I was just thinking
that way,
that
way we're
Okay.
secure.
Okay, so you're actually moving up into the end. I'll move the swords up to the end here.
Where we're at. So we actually get everybody up there. We secure that area, so we don't have to worry about them coming up on us.
How do we get the dog up there?
Can we?
But
This is a
now
makeshift.
Kingsley, now, if you want to do your sled,
This is a makeshift ladder. Can we pull the ladder up? It's not like it's ingrained in the wall.
Good idea.
Yeah, no, we can't because it's barrels with don't you remember we just stacked barrels and just hammered pieces of wood for steps up it, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that when we originally made it, that it was like a permanent fixture that Breck had made with his
Okay,
beginner's luck
I mean, I
carpentry.
just don't know
I
how we would.
think.
that's
Well,
fine.
we got to figure out how to get it up eventually, but I don't know right now how we would get that up there. And aren't we wanting to go back down?
I mean, you know, you have some ropes. You could haul stuff up. It wouldn't take too much. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay. Yeah. Do you guys mind if I make a loot sled? You don't have to help.
There is a door at the top of where the stairs used to be. I mean, there's a door up there.
That
Yes, we
door
bar
is
it.
going to be excellent for the sled. Oh, bar the door. Okay.
Yeah, but just bar the door right now. I'm sure there's a table or there's other stuff up here, man.
Well, barring the door, I think that's going to take a test, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. Just a bar door. No.
Okay. Let's do that then.
So we do that. We do that first, or Breck does. He's like, let's bar this door here and make sure we're safe.
You do.
Meanwhile,
The door is
Pingsley-
fast.
Yeah, he's got a hammer and he's got 6 iron spikes. So he.
Meanwhile,
Decent.
Pingsley is
Excellent.
gathering together a bunch of wood, big pieces of it, small pieces of it, and I would like to make a carpentry check with beginner's luck.
All right. First of all, Leaf, mark off 4 of those spikes. Second of all, Alex, with a beginner's luck carpenter's test, looking at carpenter factors here. So Ob 1 is like household items like bowls, boards, and building materials. Ob 2 is like pulleys, ladders, and furniture.
There we go. That would be
And
up to then.
And Ob 3 is more like small structures like a shack. So I think we're looking at Ob 2.
Yes.
To you know, construct a crude. What's the name of that? What do you call it? What do the Eskimos use?
Travois was what the French.
Sleigh?
Travois was what the French called it when they were dealing with the Native Americans in North America.
Mm-hmm.
That time they didn't have horses, so they were pulled by dogs.
We have a dog.
We have a dog.
Yeah.
A very afraid dog.
Not for long. I'm going to work on him.
So it would be an Ob 2 test, Alex. And you use, for beginner's luck, requires health for carpenter.
We'll be right
Okay.
back. Keep rolling.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to use your health. Any tools or...
Yes, I have a hammer and spikes.
Okay, we'll count that as supplies.
Do you want me to use my iron
so-
spikes?
Yeah, use all of them, I think, for this.
I also have rope.
So that's +1 dice.
Can I use my rope for another one?
Sure. You're gonna have to use your rope though. You have to
Okay.
mark it off.
That's fine. So
Plus,
that's
that's +2 dice.
5 dice, and I'm going to use my persona to tap my nature.
Now, well, okay. Now wait. So before you do any of that, we
thought I
take
had to-
your health plus any tools that you have. We take those dice and we have them for beginner's luck.
Okay, so
wait a
5.
minute.
And then you can spend
Round it
it on
up or down?
Hey, I got Scholar.
Round it
I can
down.
help him.
I don't
Where
think
we
you
go-
guys. I don't know if you
Or no,
guys
wait.
should help.
Never mind.
Laborer and alchemist help carpenter.
If I fail, then you guys are going to suffer conditions. Or
Yeah,
That's
but how
true.
many dice do you have right now?
5 divided by 2, rounded up or down.
Alex, it's rounded down. You would also
that's
add any
2
help dice
dice.
before you round it, before you have it too.
I have Arcanist, so I could help him.
That would be 2
Or no,
dice,
I'm
but I don't.
actually I'm wrong about that. Actually, the help dice add to the halved value already.
I do not accept help.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be your health plus 2 tools halved,
Minus,
rounded
yeah,
down.
So that's 2 dice, and then I'm going to add my nature of 5. So that's
So you're
7
spending
dice.
persona to
Oh,
tap
okay.
nature.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's 7. Do I have to choose if I use my trait against myself now or later?
hold on a second. Let me look at something.
Jack lays down and looks at the elf and says, "Ugh."
I look at you guys, narrow-eyed. I got this. Don't worry about it. And I'm hobbling around with a bunch of wood in my hands.
If you use your trait against yourself, you'd have to use it now. Because it gives you -1 dice to your roll.
Might not be the best scenario to do that.
You can use a trait to help yourself with an extra die.
Okay, and this is
Once per session.
So far I have 7 dice, right?
It was 2 plus
7,
5 for your
yeah.
nature. That's 7. Yep. It's ob 2.
Oh wait, 7 minus 1 for injured. And then it's ob 3 because I'm exhausted. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Do I feel lucky, punk?
Oh. Actually, injured gives you -1 dice as well.
I just said that, yeah.
So injured, yeah, injured gives you -1 die. Exhausted increases the factor.
6 dice.
Yeah, so that makes a difference.
3. 6 dice ob 3. Okay.
Hard decisions. Okay. Is the sled worth it?
Yes, this is
what's the sled for anyway?
Well, Dad, can we treat the sled like a normal Mystic Porter?
I mean, it would take, for one thing, it would take 1 person, 2 hands to even drag around, right?
That's fine.
When you say.
Yeah.
Are you gonna roll? Are you rolling?
I'm thinking. What would
Just thinking about it.
What would my sled? Okay, how many spaces would my sled have?
He's trying to gauge whether the horrible twist he gets when he fails is worth it. Say what now?
Well,
how many slots would it get?
Yeah.
I would say that it would have 3 slots.
3 slots. That's 1 more than my hands, but I can pile
And
stuff
so-
on top of it.
So the plan is you're going to make this thing and you're going to slide it back down into the spicy cellar, and then we're going to load the barrels and our stuff on it to get those barrels up. Is that the scope?
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah, I think that he's thinking of making a sled to carry the barrels of beer that you guys.
Let me ask you this. We have horses, right?
No.
Oh,
you can't afford horses.
Too poor for horses.
All right. Well, the sled's a great idea then.
So, okay, but if I make the sled super big...
How about 4 slots?
4 slots and the potential for more slots if I have a high margin of success.
That's like 3 kegs of beer in the silver, right?
That's
well, let me
keg of beer.
Let me tell you this too, okay?
Oh,
if you guys
1?
were to, because the idea is you want to get the loot back to town, right?
Yes.
Right.
Each person could carry 1 of the kegs of beer in 2 hands.
Oh.
You know, so as long as you don't have to carry any of your essential gear, like your weapons or whatever, in 2 hands to get back to town, each of you could carry 1 back to town.
Okay, how about this, Dad? 2,
Jeez.
it has 4 slots, and it can help with labor.
No.
But it's a tool.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You could use the sled as a tool. Okay. Yeah, I can see how
Just
that.
build it. We might need it. We might find more shit we need to do.
Okay. All right. In that case...
You're being innovative. I like that. Yeah.
This is extremely halflingly, I think. But I'm also injured. And it's kind of a big task because I've never really worked with wood. So I'm finding the strength within myself, and I'm using hidden depths for myself.
Oh. Okay.
But I
watch him
also
cut his hand off.
I'm also injured. My foot is broken. And this is, in my heart, I know this is kind of a waste of time and something absolutely terrible could happen. So I'm jaded. Can I use that against
Uh-huh.
myself?
You can't use 2 traits in one roll. Period.
I can't. I can't.
You should know
I
better
can
than
give you a die.
Okay.
So Pingsley's
Extra
like, oh
die if it
yeah,
works.
oh yeah, yeah. I used to be a carpenter.
I didn't
Don't
ever
worry
be
about it.
I was never a carpenter.
No, but you would say something like that. You'd be like, yeah.
My
No,
great
this is just fake.
grandpappy was a
I used to
carpenter.
make these all the time.
My great grandpappy was a carpenter. I'm sure I got some of his blood in my veins.
All right, so roll or not, and then
All
the
right.
grind's gonna go.
Carpenter. Ops 3. How many are helping? 0. Number of dice. Well, does anybody have a wise that would be applicable?
No.
Elven craft wise.
Mm. For carpenter, yeah.
Oh
She
yeah.
probably knows some ancient knot techniques. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
you go. Yes, yes.
yeah. Okay. So mom's helping with
Yes, she's
that.
like, no, no, no. The elves make it this way. It's much more sturdy.
I like that. Okay. So let me just start over. Carpenter. Sorry, I'm taking so much time with this.
You should be.
Ob 3.
Yeah, so it's your health plus your tools. Then have that. Then add any persona, help, or wises after that.
Wait, it's health divided. So that
No, no, no. It's health plus tools or supplies.
Oh,
Halved.
okay. Right. Okay, so that's 2 plus 1 for help.
Mm-hmm. It's 3.
Oh,
Then you're gonna
plus
tap your
5
nature.
5 for nature. So that's
It's 8.
8 minus 1
Minus 7.
for minus 1 for
Injured.
injured. And then
7.
that's it, right? 7
And you get
Roll
plus
it.
2, and then you get plus 2 from Violet.
plus
Plus 1
plus
for
1.
the wise, yeah.
But that would
Zero
be
to
the
8.
7.
That's
I was
8.
at 6, but I have help for 1.
Okay. Right, and it's ob 3
Oh.
because you're exhausted.
Right. Oh! Yeah!
Here you go, man.
Boom. All right, mark beginner's.
A sweet
Yeah,
travois.
mark beginner's luck for carpenter
Woo!
as a pass. All right, you have
Okay.
constructed a sled.
All
Again,
right.
for the sled to move with you guys, I'm going to say that, someone has to have it in 2 hands. It's carry 2, basically, to drag it with you.
Okay. Can the dog pull it?
No.
When it's empty? Can we
No.
lash it to the dog?
No, the dog can't pull it.
Okay.
Not big. He's
If we
about
had
big
four,
enough to
if we had
pull
four, if we had 4 dogs, could they pull it?
it. Yeah, 4 dogs would do.
Cool. Okay. 4
Okay.
dogs is worth 2 hands. Okay.
All right, so the grind goes. Okay, and that is
Ooh.
now the 4, 8, the 12th turn that you guys have spent down here.
Yeah.
Yep, and that gives everybody hungry and thirsty. Everybody
Okay.
earns hungry and
Okay.
I like the word earns. for
So I have a
instance.
feeling that Pingsley's like excited and he's ready to start cooking, but he's probably hurting. So I'm thinking I might need to heal him first here after all that.
Right.
Good
So
job, by
camping.
the way.
right. So we go into the camp phase here.
Now camping starts, and I have a moment. I look around. I see a stove. I immediately cook a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Trait. That's my trait
Well, hold on a minute.
or my instinct.
There's a procedure here
Yeah. Okay.
because bad shit can happen.
Oh,
Everything you do in this game, bad shit happens.
We
okay?
have to determine how safe our camp is, guys. But
Right.
wait.
So
Well, I
hold
did
on.
bar the door. That should help a little.
Yes, we do get an extra die on this on Dad's secret GM roll for this.
Right. So even though you guys are indoors, we're going to use this little camp screen here. So if we look at the little camp table down here.
Secure the door.
All right. So first, find an appropriate place to rest.
Mhm.
Use survivalist skill to set up camp, which is optional. During the adventure phase, it would actually tick the grind 1 more, which wouldn't really matter. And then we roll on the camp events table. With the camp events tables, I determine whether you're in a typical camp, an unsafe camp, or a dangerous camp. And then I roll to see if On a low roll, a disaster can happen,
Shit.
or a minor convenience. You know, if the roll's not too bad. In the mid range, it's a safe camp. It's 2 dice I'm rolling. On a higher roll, you guys might get a minor break where something beneficial happens.
Hey,
And usually, if I roll a 12, it could be a lucky break where something really
Shit. Roll
cool
high,
and
dude.
helpful happens. But here's the thing: if I roll a 2,
Uh-oh.
it's disaster. Camp phase ends, goes right back into the adventure phase.
Wow.
And something
We don't
really
even
bad.
get to camp, huh?
No, something really bad, really bad happens.
Uh-oh.
Now, to help prevent that from happening, if anyone can test survivalist to set up camp, to kind of try to make sure that it's, safe,
I have
and
it.
all that. It's almost always worth trying to make that survivalist test.
Wait.
someone,
And
what's
what that does, what that does, if it's a successful survivalist test, it adds +1 bonus to the roll, which makes it so I can never roll a 2 and get a disaster.
Oh, but
See
that
what I'm saying?
that takes a track in the adventure phase.
It does. It takes a turn in the adventure phase. But since we just kind of ticked off the 12th turn, it would only affect light. It would only reduce the amount of light, or a torch might go out or something like that. But there's really no
And that
thing. But if the survivalist skill is failed, it could always lead to a twist or more conditions. That's the thing.
I guess in that case, before we camp, can we have somebody make that survivalist check real quick? Because we're not going to gain any condition from it.
And so
Yeah,
that's-
it says hunter
Hunter.
goes with that. Yep.
Yeah, would help survivalist here. Help for helping.
I have survivalist too.
And I have Hunter.
That would be 3.
I have scout.
Hunter and labor help survivalist, as well as any
I have
relevant
hunter.
wises or tools or supplies that might be helpful setting up camp.
I have hunter.
Guys, as I have criminal wise, I mean, sure it's not ambushed.
So let me look at the factors for survivalist real quick here.
I have Hunter and I have criminal wise.
So survivalist factors, it's OB1 to create an emergency shelter or locate a potable water source. It's OB2 for starting fires in bad conditions. Making camp. We're going to say this is I'm going to deem this a typical camp. Okay, it's not unsafe, it's not dangerous at this point. Lucky you. For a typical camp, it's an OB1 survivalist test.
Okay, so I have 3 then, with the help of the hunter.
+1 for me too. I have scout, or not scout. I have hunter as well.
Oh, you have hunter too. Okay, so I can roll 4.
Yes.
Yep, and if you succeed, it'll give you +1 on the camp roll.
Yeah.
Camp events roll.
2,
Don't
right?
forget
Alright.
to check that pass.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now I roll on the camp event table.
Oh, I have to mark pass on that, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I got
And you
4.
And you get +1, so I can't roll a 2 now. All right, safe camp.
Sweet.
Oh, Dad, did you also
Okay.
add a die for the fact that the door is barred?
Yeah.
Add a die? No. You don't add a die. You just roll 2 dice on the camp events table.
Hey, I think somebody
No,
needs to go over to
I
the
meant-
front door too and bar that as well, so nobody comes in.
I meant that. I meant we got a +1 die.
Okay,
To the,
so
whatever.
so now after we apply the camp events result, which was safe camp, we strategize. We're going to discuss conditions. How many checks do we have? Do we have enough light sources to continue? Do we need more torches, or whatever? Do we need more food? Do we need more water? Make a check. And these are tests to recover, to re-equip, create scrolls, gather supplies. You cannot adventure while on camp, though. You can't go hunting kobolds in camp. But otherwise, think about what skills you may have, because a lot of skills you can do things with in camp. Like I mentioned, cartographer, you can make maps. Hunter, you can find food. cook, you can cook food and make more food. If you're a magician, you can scribe scrolls. If you're a cleric, you can pray, and stuff like this. But your skills can help determine what you can do in camp. Now, the most importantly, of course, are the conditions that you guys have and to recover from them. So I would certainly start with those.
Yep. Why don't I start with healing?
Violet, yeah. Well, let me finish here. Violet, you can use healing tests at OB3 to cure injured. The alternative is for you guys to make condition recovery checks on your own. So Violet, for instance, she has exhausted. It says it's an OB3 health test to remove exhausted. You don't get any help. You can use Persona or Fate. But it's an OB3 health test, which is a hard test.
Yeah, because I only have 4 health.
And also, Angie, Violet is wearing chain armor, which gives her +1 factor for exhaustion. So it's actually an OB4 health test.
So can we test? Can we do this first, and then can she opt to heal afterwards?
Sure.
Okay, so that's what we should do, right?
Yeah, but
so work on myself first for the exhaustion.
We should all do that. We should all do the
exhaustion
well,
tests.
Right.
Hold
but
on, though,
here are the 2 general rules for recovery tests, guys. You can only, in camp or town, you can only test once for any given condition. So you only get 1 shot at a recovery roll for injured, for instance. The other thing is you have to relieve conditions in order from lowest to highest. So like Lee, for instance, is exhausted and injured. You would have to be able to recover from exhausted before you could recover from injured.
Oh, so we need to do hungry and thirsty first.
Yes.
It's horrifying, right? Yeah, as it should be, I guess.
Well, let's have Pingsley fix a meal. We'll eat, and then we'll.
Let's talk about food.
That's right. I do need to mark hungry and thirsty on each of you here too.
So let Pingsley fix the food, then we'll eat, then we'll do our individual test, then we'll see if we need to have healing done.
Sure. And so why don't we just real quick talk about our packs about the food? Alex, I have preserved rations too. I have a bottle filled with water, 2 of those. I've got a wine. I mean, I've got lots of stuff right now. Plus, there's beer right over there, isn't there? We could just drink that for free.
Oh yeah. Do I even have to
at
cook
the bar?
Oh yeah. We decided. Yeah, we don't even have to. I don't even have to cook a meal.
That is true. I think we were talking about this, Lee. And I remember when you guys first arrived at the inn, there were some remnants of liquor and beer, things like that. So you guys have what I would say a water source or an alcohol source. Bonus. So you guys would be able to fill your skins with beer, say, or any jars or containers that you may have, and carry them with you. And so you could replenish your water for sure.
How many is it in a pack? Because I have here in my pack bottle filled with water 1 and bottle filled with water in parentheses. I don't know what that means.
It's a bottle that carries 2 slots of water. It takes up 2 slots in your pack, but it also carries 2 uses of water.
So can I put 2 there? No,
yes.
Change it to 2. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, we'll just take away your hungry and thirsty conditions.
Okay, and then
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you
I
guys are very able to.
I give some to the girl and the dog and the guys. I try to pour water into the mouth or wine into the mouth of that.
Okay.
Father figure.
I have the beer listed on my sheet now.
Yeah.
Right. Again, it says beer 2.
Beer 2, yay.
Yeah, I was going to use these tokens here.
Alex, does that mess up your goal? Because didn't you say you were going to cook a meal today? You didn't even have to do it?
Well...
You know what I mean? That's not kind of right?
Hey, Dad, if I cook a meal for everybody, does that give them rations? Or what?
Like for our packs, does that go up?
We need to look at the cooking skill factor, so I'll look at right now. By the way, these little golden tokens we're going to use as checks. I think you guys have 5 total, right? And we'll just keep track of them that way. All right, so for cook, let's see. So you don't really have to worry about feeding anybody because nobody's hungry and thirsty.
Yeah.
So we're looking at preservation.
Right.
You can of fresh rations, game, or forage into one portion of preserved rations for 1 ob, 2 portions of preserved rations for 2 ob, 3 portions of preserved rations for ob 3. But I don't think you have any fresh rations, game, or forage.
Does anybody have any fresh rations?
I just have 2
preserved.
Yeah, me too. 2 preserved. I think we have enough food. I think it's kind of weird in this game that you drink and it gets rid of the hungry and thirsty.
Yeah.
Like, you may not ever have to even use rations.
Well, you do have to. You guys have used a lot of rations. Have you been tracking that?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do get used up pretty quick because it's the the lowest condition that you get when the grind starts ticking. So
And that's why it's a great idea to do what you're doing to actually create some more preserved rations. That's a good idea, man.
yeah, but I think in order to use cook, you need some fresh game.
I do.
Or some game or some.
Can we do the test to see if we get rid of these conditions and then can we hunt?
Yeah, I think we should talk about cooking after we do that.
All right.
Okay.
So then we'd have 3 checks. So that means we'd each get 1 thing, but that's not enough. So let's skip the hunting. Okay.
Let's do our individual tests, man, to see if we can't get. We have to do them in sequence.
Right.
You said.
Yeah.
So we do
Yeah,
health,
from lowest
right?
to highest. You can use this little chart at the top. It kind of shows from low to high up here. So hungry and thirsty, angry, afraid, exhausted, injured, sick. So all of you got Breck and Pinks. They're going to have to relieve themselves exhausted before they even have a chance of getting rid of injured.
Yeah, me too.
What's the ob for exhausted? What are we doing there?
It's on your character sheet under exhausted. It says ob 3 health test.
And you don't use persona or fate to add to your dice. Is that correct?
That's right. And you don't get the exhausted penalty when you're making your recovery test. So you just roll your health dice plus any bonuses that you could muster with fate or persona.
What does persona give it then? A +1 die?
Yeah, for persona, unless you can use a wise in relation to your test.
No.
And then, or no, I'm sorry, you can tap your nature. Is what I was going to say. You can use a persona to use your nature dice.
Well, I have.
But that will tax nature.
Okay, can I use merrymaking to get rid of exhausted?
Thank you. I was just going to talk about any tools, supplies, or skills, or anything to help these. And here's an interesting thing too. I would consider.
I can sing.
Alcohol. I would consider alcohol. Sort of a helping factor. I would factor that into exhausted, maybe. In this instance.
Some good beer.
But,
come on.
Yeah, definitely for like angry, or afraid too. But I think in this instance, I think I would allow you to use it for exhausted. So that would factor into it. So that would make it +1 die for that, for the beer supplies. So what is your health brackets? 5.
5.
So you get 5 +1 for the beer. You're at 6.
And then I can burn.
You can burn a persona to get another. Yeah. For each persona you spend could add a die. And you could use fate after the roll to re-roll 6s.
I'll definitely burn a persona.
Okay. And with these recovery tests, there are no twists or additions.
Just to be sure,
if you fail, you just keep the condition.
Who's giving Lee this check?
Well, we have a communal pool here.
That's 7, correct?
Yeah, I think technically Angie has 3. Yeah, I think we're at 7. Pingsley has 2. Is that right?
Okay, so then I'll use my first one to give that to Breck for recovery.
Okay.
Just a straight roll with 7, or is it 8?
Yeah. Well, I think it's 5 for your health, 1 for the beer, All right. And did you say you're spending persona to add extra dice?
I am. I'm adding one persona. Yeah.
Does he get any? Does he
So
get
that's-
a? Does he get an increase for injured or anything?
No, it's because it says most all of them will say, for instance,
But not
minus
recovery.
1 dice to skills, nature, will, and health, but not recovery.
Okay.
So like exhausted factors in all tests, but not recovery.
Okay.
You know,
Got
so
it.
that's at least throwing you a little bit of a bone there. So yeah, it looks like 7 dice with a 3 obli. It's not terrible odds.
That was pretty
I
good.
could.
I just did it.
Burn. I could.
And the
burn
worst thing
faster.
that could happen is that you remain exhausted and injured. You know. But yeah, it might be worth burning if you really want a shot at getting rid of exhausted and maybe injured.
Do it. Go ahead.
Burn another persona.
I will.
And then you always have the option too, after the roll of spending fate, to reroll 6s too.
Nice.
Oh, boom!
Very good. Oh, that is
Nicely
very
done. It's a good roll.
So that was worth it.
Good. Okay.
All right,
And
so
Violet.
you can remove exhausted.
Violet, what are you
That was a
doing?
really good roll. Well, I only have a 4 health.
Okay.
So I get 1 for a beer, so that's 5?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's terrible.
And it's ob 4 for you because of the chainmail.
Well, shit.
You can burn persona.
Am I allowed to help with merrymaking
Yeah, I'm
on
gonna burn
exhausted
up
or
another
not?
persona.
No. There's
So if
no
I burn
help
a
on
persona, I get 1
recovery
more
tests.
dice, right? So I'd have
Well,
6.
That's not true, though. The book says something about merrymaking being able to help people.
Oh yeah, the secret rules.
All right, so I'm rolling 6.
The rules that you're not supposed to. Hold on, let me look at merrymaking real quick. I think merrymaking's only angry or afraid, though, Alex.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help.
I'm
you
not
get
sure it
scared.
would. Yeah, I'm not sure if that would affect.
I can't tuck her in and make her feel
I can't
comfy.
tuck her in. Right.
Sing a lullaby.
Where is that exactly? You should know this, Alex.
I'm gonna roll 6 dice, okay?
Be another factor here, real quick. Let me make sure.
There you go.
All right,
Come on,
merrymaking. What the
Bob.
fuck is it here? All right. Here's merrymaking. They love to throw parties, host dinners, and celebrate, particularly with good food and drink. Using merrymaking, halflings can help their friends overcome the hungry and thirsty, angry and afraid conditions by dancing with them, composing songs with them, surprising them with gifts, or even pranks. Note that this effect is not recovery, it's closer to what a healer does, so it can be done out of recovery order. But note that it only applies to hungry, thirsty, angry, or afraid, okay? Not an exhaustion.
You do it to
So
the
roll
dog.
your-
Make the dog happy.
Right, yeah, it would cost a check, but, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Angie, go ahead and roll your dice. It's
Well, I think
ob
it's
4. Okay, yeah, I think it is too.
Because I paid a persona, so I get 1 extra dice, right?
Okay. Make sure you, yep. Make sure that you not only pay that persona, but you show that
Oh
it's
my
been
gosh,
spent.
that's great.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I am not exhausted. God, we roll so good in this game, you guys. If you'd realize. How good.
Nice.
Wow.
Relieved yourself of being. So far, so good tonight.
You took the
No
check off my
monsters have
tray.
shown up. I did. Oh, and I didn't do it on your character sheet. I just took it off your token.
Do I
Make sure
take
you
it off
keep-
my character sheet where it says used
Yes.
against? Okay.
What? What? Oh yeah, yeah. You can mark the checks off. Yeah, the one used against.
Mhm.
I'm just using these little coin or sun symbols here for your checks. You got 3 checks left,
So
guys.
now I have I have 2
Now-
from here.
The only rule is you can't make 2 tests in a row, which kind of forces you to share your checks. If you're the only one with checks, you can't use them all yourself. So Breck is gone, Violet's gone, so now Breck and Pingsley can spend a check. Breck or Pingsley can spend a check.
Good night, sweet prince.
What happened to the dog and the other people? I thought I put them on here.
I don't
Did you
think I
kill
have
them,
a-
Alex?
I don't have a check, but I sure could use one. Hey, isn't that correct, Sean?
Oh, I
Yeah.
have a check for you. If you want to take one of my checks, can
Well,
I
he
take
can't
one off
use
mine?
2. He can't do 2 tests in a row. Oh, you just did it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you can pass checks. Yep.
you know, I'm super duper injured. I've been
Wait.
hobbling all around the Christmas tree on this Christmas holiday. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my very last check very greedily to try and freaking fix my broken foot.
How about me healing you with a 3 healer?
Well, the
Oh.
thing is, Alex, you're exhausted. You have to recover exhausted before you can recover
Well,
injured.
then I'm gonna take a nappy nap.
That sounds like a plan. That's the best thing to nap. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking at your character sheet under conditions, exhausted is an OB3 health test.
Boy, oh boy. And I only have a health of 3.
What's the
You do
persona,
have-
my friend?
You do have 3 fate and 1 persona.
I thought I was supposed to heal you.
Well, you can heal me as
Al-
soon as I'm
alternately,
done
you
with
could do
this.
that. Yeah, alternately. Healing is nice because you can actually help healing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why don't I heal you, dude?
Well, I have to be I have to get rid of exhausted.
He's got to get rid of this.
Oh
face,
shit,
so-
that's what I'm. Okay, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
can singing can't help exhaustion?
Yeah, Dad, can
No.
singing help exhaustion? That's literally singing somebody a lullaby.
Oh yeah,
Check that out and see if
good idea.
Thank
Let's
you.
see, singing and remembering are 2 oft overlooked aspects of elven nature. Most elves will just play the hiding aspect. However, singing and remembering are very potent if applied creatively. Singing can be used to overcome anger or fear, to enchant the unwary with wonderment, or befuddle their wits. So singing can be used to help with anger or fear, but not exhausted, unfortunately.
Okay, well, see, okay. Little bit
Exhausted
of
is a bitch.
little tiny bit of a gripe here. So, I've noticed one thing when looking at the elf and the halfling. The elf and the halfling have a lot of things in common in regards to that. Like, come on, man, why can't it be afraid and exhausted? Because they sing a live. Who wants to hear a song when they're mad?
Well,
Well,
it's supposed to
talk
make
to
him happy.
talk to Thor, the guy who wrote the game. Don't talk
Because
to me.
music
I'm the
that makes you
dungeon master.
happy, Al, it takes you out of your angry mood. Makes sense.
Right.
But that's merrymaking.
Exhausted is a bitch.
saying
Like
too.
I said, it's just a bitch.
So you have to roll, Al, on your exhaustion on your own if you want to get rid
Can
of that.
can Captain Jack
Need it.
help me by cuddling up close and making me warm?
I'll tell you what. Let's get back to real quick, guys. Okay, I
Reaching.
can get rid of Captain Jack's fear, right? By singing to him.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe you
you
told me
could.
that before. So here we go. Okay.
Hold on.
An
No.
elven maid there was of old, a shining star by day. Her mantle white was hemmed with gold, her shoes of silver gray. A star was bound upon her brows, a light was on her hair, as
Wow.
sun upon the golden boughs and Lori in the fair. See, I have this song all planned out for the dog.
Violet.
The dog is cured, man. I just
Violet.
cured the dog.
Violet, you just took a test. You can't take 2 tests in a row.
That's
Is
true.
that a test?
That's a
Shit.
great-
I gotta
great
sing
song.
that again later.
No.
No, we'll give you credit for the song. That was wonderful. Yeah.
Can the song help her? I guess it can. Whatever.
Heal
Look,
the dog.
all right, I'm exhausted. I'm relieving myself of exhausted here. All right, I'm gonna use. I don't want to tap my nature again. Can I use a fate to add a die to my thing here? Let me take a look at that.
No.
No
Uh,
fate
can
is
only-
for rolling sixes.
Right. Or re-rolling a failure if it's related to a wise.
Do you have any more persona?
By using, of course.
I have one persona, but I want to use that. I want to wait to tap my nature again.
What you guys need is a cleric.
I don't want to tap my nature, though.
How a cleric?
Yes.
Like, for instance, I think a cleric has a prayer.
Yeah, clerics have all sorts of cool prayer powers.
Is Kyle a cleric? Did he roll a cleric? Is that right?
He did, yeah. Kyle rolled up a cleric.
Clerics
There you
are nice.
go.
Oh boy, alright. Oh man, this
It's
is upsetting me right now.
You could cast Hands of the Lords of Entropy on you to cure your exhaustion.
I don't know how I'm supposed to cure exhaust with a knob 3 health roll when I have 3 health.
And the real bitch is that if you don't get rid of exhausted, you can't even test to get rid of injured. I mean, Violet could try to heal you injured, but you can't make the recovery test.
Okay, fine. Screw it. I'll give my last check to Breck.
All right.
Yay! Thank you.
Oops.
Well, I'll try to get rid of injured.
Okay. Injured can be kind of a bitch too.
I'm sure it is a bitch.
Well, he's got
Yes,
health. He's a healthy boy.
I'm sure it is a bitch.
Injured's an OB 4 health test.
Jesus. That's
I have
more than a
healing.
bitch.
I have healing. Why shouldn't I do that?
That's a
Well, because you can't take you can't use 2 checks in a row, Angie. You can't take 2 actions in a
Oh,
row in camp.
Jesus. Well, why didn't Pingsley try to get rid of his exhaustion then, and then that would put somebody between me and Brack?
Yeah, well, Pinksley's gonna have to do something.
Pinksley's not gonna have to do nothing.
Well, he's really gonna have a leftover check. It's gonna go to the dogs.
No, it's
so
not.
I have a 5 health. I'll burn my last persona point.
Okay.
6 dice.
Let's see. Anything else? Injured. Yeah, it sucks because Angie's the only healer. She could use healing to make a poultice to give you another die, but she can't do that right now.
Yep, and I mean, I could freaking. Can I use my elven craftwise?
Pingsley, it actually might be best because you guys lose any unused checks, by the way.
We don't
I don't know
lose
if you
any
knew
checks, Dad. We don't lose any
You
checks.
lose unused checks.
We're not losing any.
So
If you don't use them, you do, right?
We are using them.
what I'm saying, it might be wise to have Violet somehow with these remaining checks.
Okay, fine. I will sing to Elsa,
I'm not helping you
Jeorge, and
anymore.
Captain Jack. I'm merrymaking. I'm curing
You're
them.
merrymaking?
I'm merrymaking for Jeorge, Elsa, and Captain Jack. I'm doing a jig. I'm dancing. I grab some spoons. I juggle them. I look at the elf harshly. I say, "Sing, woman!" And I start juggling faster.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see.
So I'll wait. I'll
Okay.
wait. I'm waiting then.
All right, so Captain Jack.
Night in northern lands arose and loud it cried, and
Ooh.
drove the ship from elven strands across the streaming tide. I'm singing for you, Pingsley.
Thank you. I juggle to the beat.
Right, so it's going to be a hound dog test. He's got a nature of 3.
A hound
Okay,
dog
so he gets
test.
3 dice. Well, yeah, he has to make the recovery roll, and you guys are helping him basically with singing and merrymaking.
Well,
Afraid is
hold
an
on.
ob 3. Afraid is an ob 3 test. He gets 3 dice. He gets +1 for merrymaking,
can't
+1 for
sing.
singing.
I can't sing for all 3 of them?
Well, yeah, when it comes to that,
But that's 1 check, isn't it?
it is a check. We're using a check for Captain Jack. I thought that was the.
Well, I'd
Right.
rather use the check for Jeorge. Jeorge is a more useful creature than Captain Jack is. Jeorge's a human being with a big brain.
Dude, don't
York
underestimate
has
Captain
1
Jack.
foot.
So do I! You don't see me not doing things. Jeorge's
Hear the
taller
dog.
than me.
Roll for the people.
But that takes a whole That takes 2 more checks, man.
Hmm.
Well, then, just do the dog.
All right.
Yeah, just
Oh,
do the dog because I'm going to train that dog, and he's going to be a fighter.
great.
He's gonna get 5 dice with an ob 3.
Okay.
Jack's better than the human.
All right. Let's see if Captain Jack can snap out of it. See if he likes your song.
Loves
See
it.
how. Look at that.
It's the best song he's ever heard. He loves
There we
it.
go.
Captain Jack gets 3 successes.
All
That's
right.
the best song ever.
No longer a.
Yeah, between me and Pingsley, he should be cured and happy now.
Oh, he's totally happy now. Yeah, so that means he can help now again. He
Hooray.
can help with stuff. All right, and that was Did you remove that check, Alex?
I did. Now it's
All right, we've
Violet's
got 2
turn.
checks left. So now either Breck or Violet can use a check for something.
Gonna try to heal me first before
Yeah.
I use
Yeah.
my.
Yep, here I go. I'm going to heal you, and I'm going to take a check off here. And so if I'm going to heal you,
All right, so let's look again and see what helps healing. It is
I'm a healer
labor,
free.
labor or alchemy, or irrelevant wise. Pingsley has herb wise, right?
I do have Herbwise. I'm the heal master.
Hey, what's a poultices?
So you can create a poultice with the help of by having some herbs. I think in order to do that, let
We
me
have
look at
garlic.
it.
Dude,
Oh,
I have
man.
garlic in my freaking hand. I have it in
Yeah,
my hand
we
right
just
now.
got garlic. We just
Yeah.
we just
Wow.
looted it from the cellar.
And it grants me +1 die to recover from injured, it says.
Plus, we can find all
Sweet.
sorts of stuff, hops and whatever the heck in
So here's
spices.
the difference, Angie. You can use a healer test to just directly treat injured with ob 3, right? You could use that garlic as a tool for that,
Mhm.
which would give you +1 die on the healing roll.
Oh,
Or you can make a poultice. Okay, to heal an injured is kind of hard. The factor is 1, 2, 3. It's an ob 4. It's
The
actually an ob
poultice.
4.
The
Oh, wait a
poultice we
minute.
can make out of alcohol and rags, Dad. It's like we have actual alcohol here.
Well, here's what poultices do. So you would create the poultice with a healing ob 4 test, and you would give that to someone. What a poultice does is it aids people in recovering from angry, afraid, exhausted, injured, and sick. And poultice grant 1+1 dice to recovery tests.
Oh,
yeah, but I only
that
have a
case-
freaking 3 healer, and you're saying ob 4s are.
in that
Mhm.
case, we might
But
as well.
the difference is that you can actually carry poultices around. Like you could put, healing poultice in your pack or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, in that case, we might as well
Alchemist
actually
can
just
help.
cure the dude.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help with Herbwise.
So
You're
that's
wreck.
4.
You can tap your
Yeah, you-
nature.
That put me down to 3 nature, but
3
Okay.
of. Well, see, the thing is, once you go down to 0 nature, it just takes your max down 1.
oh wait. Okay, so I'd be at 3. So I would had a 4 nature, so that's 4. For the healer, I've got 5, 6, 7. That'd be 7 dice right there. Plus the herbs would be 8.
Yeah.
Right? I'm doing it. You ready, Brett?
if you-
I'm gonna heal
yeah.
you.
Yeah, mark the garlic off. Yep.
Here
There we go.
comes. Come on.
Ob 3.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh
think I got it.
my goodness, we are
You
on
are so
fire.
healed.
All right, Breck is relieved of his injury.
And I'm checking my healer for pass.
Hey, thank you, Violet. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
I help.
All right, I'll take the garlic out of my hand.
He's still covered with scrapes and bruises, though. I'm sure.
I nod in approval.
Hey,
Now
Half
I need
of
to
it
heal
was
you, don't
building
I?
that damn ladder.
Well, now we are out of checks.
No,
Yeah,
we're
out
not.
of checks.
You just
I
no
still have
wait.
one.
Mom deleted
I
that
had
check.
2.
Dad, did you just delete that check? Are you trying to
I
cheat
did.
us out of a check?
I have one more
We
check
had one more
left.
check. Yeah.
Well, okay, I should let you guys delete your own damn checks then. I'm
You
sorry.
Yeah,
should.
I have one check left. I
Good.
saved 2, one for Breck and one for Pingsley to heal his injured, but are you still exhausted?
Yeah, brother.
Okay. Yeah, so you can't spend this last check though, Violet, because you just took an action. Remember, you can't do 2 things in a row
I know.
in
So he needs
camp.
to heal his own exhaustion so I can try to heal his
So,
injured.
so pass that check to somebody else.
Mm,
Pass it to the Pingsley and let him try to do his exhaustion. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he's still gonna be injured,
Correct.
right?
yeah.
He's got to get rid of exhaustion first, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'll take my last check off, and it's for you. There you go. You got to at least try.
Okay. Can I drink myself to sleep, Dad?
I did say in this instance, since you guys are kind of more comfortably resting in the inn itself, you're not out in the elements or whatever. I would allow the beer, the overflowing amount of beer in this place. I'd allow that as a factor to recover
And
from
it
exhaustion.
it's renowned beer too. It's just not any old
Yes.
beer. It's actually good ale.
Yeah, you're feeling
Yes.
pretty good now, Pingsley. Woohoo!
It is. It's a
It's
three
not
three
still.
squires famed sour beer.
Here's the deal,
Okay.
though, Alexander. You got to heal yourself injured then.
Dad, are there potatoes in here?
No,
Not in the
no,
kitchen.
there's no food. No,
food at all.
no food. Exhaust is an OB3 health test for recovery.
Oh, I thought you said he got that just from the beer. He got rid of that.
Well, he's going to get an extra die for the beer.
Oh,
for
I
his
see.
test.
You know what?
Yeah.
What's
You
your
know
health?
what?
You have what's your health? 3 or 4?
3. Ugh.
4. And let's see here. Criminal wise.
Criminal wise, he knows how to put me into the long sleep.
Can't
Oh,
help
sure.
with recovery tests, folks. He's on it. You're on your own for recovery tests. Just part of the
You have a
life.
persona? You have a persona you can burn?
I have one.
Burn it, man.
Huh?
Right?
Burn it.
Nice. You need, what is it, an ob 2?
It's ob 3. Oh God.
There's nothing I can do to help him.
You gotta do it, man. You gotta burn it and
No.
try the 5 dice.
Oh no.
I mean, maybe if you had another check, Violet could create a poultice, to help him with his exhausted check, but you only got 1 check left.
All right, that's it. I'm tapping my nature again.
Oh boy.
All right, 4 plus what did we say? Total of 5, 3, 4, 3, 4. So 4 plus okay, 8. I have 8 dice.
That's good. All right.
So health 3
Think big number
plus nature
sixes.
3. That's 6.
5.
And how are you getting the other 2? You get 3 from health, 3 from nature.
No, 4 from nature.
I see your
reduced my
nature
nature.
currently at 3. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Because he
Dad, I
just
just
took one
reduced
off
it.
of it.
All right, so that's 7. Then what are you getting the extra one from? The beer, right?
The beer.
Okay. All right.
Beer. Thank God for
Hopefully
beer.
that sour beer pays off.
What am I testing?
It'll be
It
the
is
last
nectar.
dice roll. We'll
It is
see if the
nectar,
beer
actually.
works.
I'm drinking some beer right now.
3. How
Yeah,
many
I'm
are you
feeling good.
helping? 0. Total number of dice 8.
Here we go. I'm 3.
Ah!
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Amazing roll, Pingsley.
I'm channeling my Rheingeist.
Beautiful.
I can't even believe we always win like on our rolls. It's amazing. We never have really sucked on our rolls.
Wow, we
That I can
actually,
remember.
looking back at all of our rolls here, we've actually succeeded.
Everything
all
but
of
the one I did.
except you got
Alright,
to
so-
explode your dice, I think.
So,
yeah,
so,
I was exploding dice.
so Pingsley, using his halfling nature, drinks like 3 gallons of beer, and he's like hardly even drunk. But he feels much, much better and more. He feels energized.
I knocked myself
Rick
out.
is really
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah, and then he's like, maybe I need to take a nap, and he's out like a light, snoring away.
Brack is impressed. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can drink.
Yeah,
Damn.
no doubt.
All right.
Okay, so we have spent all of our checks. That's going to conclude the camp phase.
Yay, we camped.
Yay.
And we succeeded. Pretty much, except you're still injured, aren't you? Dang.
Okay.
The
So
dog's
players
happy,
break
everything's
camp
good.
as soon as their checks are expended or discarded.
All right.
So now either the adventure phase can recommence, or you could actually travel to town if you so chose. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
I still need to spend a fate, I think, in order to have 3 spent to like level, right?
Yeah, and we need to go back down there to save some human lives. I think one person has been eaten, we decided.
Yeah, we were making that. That was the cold insurance calculation.
One person for 8
There's some-
kobolds.
Oh,
There's
and I
some
do just
actuarial-
want to be sure, Lee. It is 10:30 your time almost.
Yeah, it's 10:22, so we're getting close.
Okay, so what time are we ending tonight? I just want to be sure.
I should probably check out at 10:30.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to play for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
You gotta work.
I gotta get up. Yeah.
Well, here's
man.
what I'm doing. I'm giving a big hug to George and Elsa, and I'm gonna say farewell. We're gonna go back down and try to save some more people. Oh, sorry, Jorg, not George. It looks like George.
Right. So Jorg actually makes it pretty clear, like he is. If you're going back down there, he will not be joining you. He's going to try to make his way back to Riveri at this point.
Jorg, it's a little
But
bit of a dangerous route.
Hold on, does he own this place?
No, he was actually a guest. He was,
Who's the owner? Who owns this place?
his name is Ron Wald.
Yeah, Ronwald's the innkeeper. He's cooking people.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Ron Wald the innkeep. But yeah, Jorg said he was traveling from Bogwatch up to Griffinholm. When he stopped at the inn to stay the night, he was just a guest. But he figures he's going to take his daughter and go up to Riveri. Maybe spend some time there and
Spread our names as far as saving you.
Oh yeah, he thanks you profusely. Yeah, he says, anytime, you're in Riveri or Griffinholm, look me up. It turns out that he is he's a weaver, is what he is.
Cool.
He makes clothing and stuff. So actually, if you like, all of you can add a friend to your character sheet. Put Jorg the Weaver.
I got a friend.
Jorg, the weaver of with Fairy. What's the place called?
Well, he's going to Riveri now, and he's going to stay there for a while. But yeah.
Where does he keep steading?
He Bogwatch is where he's from. But the thing is, with friends and enemies, you can actually try to find friends and enemies in towns that are not their hometown with circles tests. But yeah, if you're in Bogwatch, you can look up Jorg. But also, if you're in Griffinholm, you can look up Jorg. It just requires a circles test.
Okay.
Let's go, guys. I'm ready to go back down. We're gonna leave this. We're gonna slide the sled down the steps. So
Well,
it's there for the barrels, right?
Right.
Ready?
Are we?
you
Do
down.
we wanna call it? I'm not sure. I mean, a test can take some time if we get a bunch of.
Well,
Nobody
yeah.
else
Well,
does.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Let me go back over here real quick. Okay, so just to be clear about Captain Jack, right?
Yeah.
You can actually, here, I made a little thing for him. I'll show him to you guys. So Captain Jack's a hound dog. He has a nature of 3, and his nature descriptors are hunting, running, and digging. So if anything that you guys do that involves a test that involves hunting, running, or digging, he can help. All right.
Cool.
That includes skills where hunting, running, and digging help other skills like scout. Hunting can help scout, I think, so he can help scout.
Oh, good. He can help me because I always thoroughly search unexplored areas.
And he's a hound dog, so that's perfect. I like his little portrait.
Yeah, he's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a basset hound, you know. All right. So
I'm gonna
so
turn
down
him
here at
into
the
a
map.
killer.
So before we wrap the session,
we'll have spiked collar on it.
before we wrap up the session, do end of session stuff here. Let's just have a little like strategy session kind of here. Let's talk about like maybe what the plan is going forward here. You guys are kind of in the inn proper up here, and you can see the map that lies before you. There are some unexplored areas down here, and you haven't found the kitchen. You've heard of the kitchen, but haven't found it.
We do a cartography roll at some point.
That would have been something you would have done during camp.
Yeah.
And map right now, you could be like, okay, well, let's just go right back to where we started, and you guys would be like, voop, no tests, no time. You guys are in the kobold courtroom starting out. But unfortunately, that's not the case. But
Well,
just,
we
I just
could
wanted
do
to
a
point out
test
a
right
couple of
now.
things.
We could do a test as soon as the grind resumes to make that cartography check.
You could, yeah, and the grind has reset, by the way. We'll move that back. We're going to want to light up the lantern. We'll assume it's full, I think, right? I think it was full before.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to point out a couple of things on the map before we do end of session here. So there is this cavernous tunnel that's descending down here that you guys haven't explored. That was behind the little spigot area in the cellar. There's kind of a crumbling brick wall that you found it behind. There's over here by the pit, there's a sheer descending passage. You haven't really explored it past the pit because you haven't gotten beyond the pit. You just know something lies beyond the pit. And it looks like it's like there's no floor over there that you can tell. It looks like either descends, you know, there's a drop off right there of some kind, but it opens up into a larger area, it looks like. Then, of course, we have down here, there's two exits from the room, the kobold courtroom up here. There is down here, there's a descending passage that has sort of this natural ladder that kind of, you could crawl down and go down into this dark, wet tunnel down in there. And then the northern passageway up here kind of forks into two. Look, shining your lantern down in there, you can see the passageway forks kind of left and right up ahead.
I think that's the most promising.
Yeah, we don't go down descending areas, right?
But I mean, as far as just logically, you think if
Yeah.
if you're talking about bringing like food or a kitchen or like prison area,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely that area right there, right?
I agree.
And another thing that would be useful for you guys to know, when traversing passageways like this, Angie said, well, we don't go down descending passageway. Well, yeah, there's kind of a reason for that too. Because you see dangerous passageways or danger down here underground, you're going to want to have a dungeoneer with you. Dungeoneers are really helpful in traversing dangerous passageways or obstacles that you may face underground. I don't think any of you have the dungeoneer skill.
No.
We need a dwarf.
Yeah. But, you know, I should say there is this, at least in the case over here, this natural ladder. There's an actual natural ladder that leads down into this area here. It doesn't look dangerous to go down the ladder, but who knows what lies down the passageway. So with that, yeah, I think you guys are kind of looking at this fork passageway up here next.
I think that's the logical area to go to next, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're going to move through the spicy cellar, into the empty meat cellar, through the limestone cavern, through the tunnels, past where the tripwire was, into the lizard lounge, into the kobold courtroom, and then beyond. And of course, you realize 6 to 8 hours have passed. So you should know, just from living the life and being the adventurer that you are, these kobolds like to set traps and such, and it might have been enough time for them to, you know, set up some kind of ambush along the way. If they know you guys are down, they're aware of your presence. So it might be, you know, you might have to take some care. Since you don't have a map, or maybe you will, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, that is one thing about having a map, is you can skip over all those traps, you know. So let's just do end of session stuff here.
Sounds good.
Let's see, I'm bring this up
So that
here.
cartography roll when we come back to sessions.
Yeah.
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 Let's try not to forget that, because that could be definitely
That's an important thing to do.
Okay, so awarding fate. Anybody act on their belief this session?
take a look here real quick, just to be
Yeah,
sure.
I did. Hesitation kills. Only the brave and decisive will be victorious.
Take a look.
Okay.
How'd you
I
do
would
that there, Lee?
Lots of direct action.
That is true. We did pretty much follow beat by beat everything you told us to do, and you were pretty fast with it, too. Can't stand here, do nothing. Gotta go. We gotta figure it out. They're gonna cook exactly one person every 8 hours.
Yeah.
Fucking around with a dog and heal me. What are you waiting for? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'd say Lee gets a fate for that. Anybody else act under belief?
I would
Anybody?
say I kind of did. I mean, part of
Oh.
mine is protecting those who cannot protect themselves. I think that like I was.
Oh, what
I mean,
the
not
heck, man?
necessarily.
Yeah.
I totally like healed that dude.
You
He
totally
was
did
laying
heal
there.
that dude.
I can dig it.
That dude done got healed. Not only that, but you sang with me for the dog, so you were protecting the dog. You got the guy back up here. You helped the kid. You all around protected
Yeah.
people.
I protected him from dying. I
All right,
think.
Violet, get a fate point
Heck yeah.
for playing your belief. In the future, I'd like to see more dramatic role play playing your belief. The song was great, by the way. You'll definitely get an embodiment for that, I believe. But I would like to see more.
What demonstrable role playing?
Yeah, a little more drama with the beliefs. But yeah, we're still new at this. Anybody work toward their goal but did not accomplish it? You'll get a fate for that.
You know
Yeah, I
what?
thought we were going down to free the prisoners from the cages. I didn't realize camp was going to take so long, so I did not accomplish my goal. But I'm gonna leave it for next time.
Yeah, no, that counts. That'll give you a fate for working towards your goal but not accomplishing it.
I mean, mine is save as many innocent humans, bring punishment to those responsible. So
We did. We did save
You did save some
at least
people.
2 innocent humans.
Yep, get a fate for that.
You know what? My eye has been on the exit this whole time. I will leave the house of 3 squires with my life. We were so close to just walking out that door, but we didn't. I think I worked towards the goal at least by getting us up there and camping.
Okay, I'll give you a fate.
You didn't die, and you're still in the house.
We'll give you a fate for that. Anybody play their instinct? I believe Violet, you played your instinct, didn't you?
I always thoroughly search unexplored areas. I did do that, I think, in that room when we found that the lantern oil and the other stuff. So yeah, what do I get for that? Another fate?
Another fate.
Damn. Okay, that's good.
In fact, I should say playing your instinct to the benefit of your group, of your party.
Yeah, I need to spend another fate to get like a level.
Selfish instincts don't count. All right. Persona. Anybody play it against their belief in a dramatic fashion?
Nah.
Anyone accomplish their goal?
No.
Well, hold
Not
on.
yet.
Lee.
Dead.
Technically, Lee did.
What's yours, Lee, again?
Save as many innocent humans and bring punishment to those responsible.
He did half of it. I say give it to him.
I mean, there was
that is the thing. You might be hampering yourself with kind of a combo goal there because it is kind of 2 goals in one. But I think,
maybe we should only have 1 goal.
Yeah, just keep that in mind for next time, Lee. But you have brought some serious punishment thus far. Maybe not this session, but
yeah.
we'll
But he has for that. This session. He did add the saving innocent lives, and we did that.
We definitely did that. We're sending them home.